Hello, Aqua. What's up? Welcome to your reading. Okay, so the first thing that is coming through for your guys' reading is really like stepping into kind of some uncomfortable, I don't know. It's trailing off the cap reading, so it feels like there is some kind of uncomfortable like self-image that you're presenting, but that it's necessary. I don't know where it's going with that. Your guys' song is Landslide by the Dixie Chicks. Specifically, how it seems like you're either outgrowing someone or you're changing around them. Like you're able to change within a connection, or you're able to make these changes and start implementing them more publicly. That's what it feels like. Okay, so let's get straight to the point. How does Aqua's person feel about Aqua? How does Aquarius person see them? What are Aquarius's person's intentions towards the Aqua? Okay, some of you guys could be dealing with kind of an on-off situation for whatever reason, maybe regarding a Taurus. What's the challenge in this situation? Okay, Aqua, immediately it seems like the situation is where you're in kind of like maybe a lull with someone and you're trying to make some changes. There seems to be some commitment that it's like you're staying in a situation, but you're wanting to move forward. Maybe you're talking about moving forward, or you're talking to someone about how you can move forward and like take action on things. That seems to be really the vibe here. And then what else do we need to know? Okay, so Aqua, how does your person view you? Let's look at this. Your person is viewing you in an energy of maybe having some kind of insecurity or some kind of like stagnation is really what's coming out. And I wonder if that's just them like, sometimes that can happen because someone like loves us and sees us and is like holding space for us. And sometimes that can happen because someone feels the need to like fix us or help us or something like that. So I'll let you kind of decide how that's playing out for you. I think that will come in at some point. But for now, I'm just reading it as like kind of an innocent, like they're noticing you're going through something. I'm not reading it as significant judgments around that. It just seems like you're in some kind of delay with work or some kind of delay with like your emotions or your something mentally. And that you're trying to transition into like some kind of a smoother or more flow state within maybe something, maybe like travel, or a decision to travel. Maybe this is also a decision about a career, which way to go. There's two very specific ways you could go, and it's like, which one do I choose? Or this could be internally, stuff that you're going through, like where you're learning about yourself internally, and then you're kind of trying to like bring it up to the surface and bring it into that verbalizing kind of territory. And it's really difficult right now. So that's kind of how they're viewing you, which is interesting. I think overall this person wants to move forward with you, but understands that you might be going through something. And so it's like, they're kind of just letting your path be your path. They're, I think, having some patience for that, and also understanding that whatever you're going through now is ultimately aiding in like coming together with them. So let's see kind of like if we can get any feelings, because I am noticing the only feeling feels like stagnation, and then the only other like watery energy would be the Chariot, and that's kind of a more rough moving forward but still moving forward energy. It's kind of, things can happen quickly and that can be great, but it's like things need to happen before you get to that point. And I think specifically in this card, because I'm noticing the curtains there, and that looks like the Star card to me, is that they're specifically healing. that needs to take place. And it's like self-healing that wants to take place. So it seems like you're getting there. Has this person really... Okay, you could be married to this person. You could be in a significant partnership with this person. If you are, this person's like not home a lot, or they don't live in your home or something. Maybe there's some kind of like thing with family that's being reworked right now, where like you have, if you guys have kids, you have one kid, they have a different kid, like there's time split there. This could also just mean that there's like family systems that are being reworked. So maybe they're going through something with like their mother right now, or you're going through something with like your father. Like there's a specific dynamic where things are changing in the background here. Some of you guys could have been talking about like, you guys could have brought to the table the idea of divorce, separation, kind of like splitting things up. Maybe that's assets. Maybe that's even like kids if you have them or something, or pets. Maybe there's something about the summer that divides family too, and gives you some space to think. So maybe like kids went off to a camp, or there's some kind of like a responsibility that's not there. What's really interesting is like when I look at how does your person feel about you, I don't, sometimes like off the cards, it'll be like, oh, this is how this person feels about you for sure. These cards are more so saying this is how this person is viewing the situation. So I wonder if you have a very logical person and not like a super emotive person going on here. Also, I'm getting like a Southern accent. So I don't know if that's you or them, but I feel like one of you might have like a heavy Southern drawl. Yeah. Okay. So one of you guys could be like working. It's like some kind of a responsibility of family was set down. And then there's like this kind of planning and thinking about things, but not making any firm decisions on them right now. And then going like back to work or something like that. So maybe that's happening for you. Needing to make the choice, not feeling super confident, like not really looking at what could go right. Okay, for others of you, this is where you're in a moment of transition, and within your life, you are going through something where you are either being asked to go back to work, you are being asked to change jobs, to do something regarding your income in a different way. And behind the scenes, there's either this choice of connecting with a romantic partner or doing that stuff. It doesn't feel like there's enough time or energy or resources to do both. So I wonder if maybe you're kind of like leaning into, at this time, some more community stuff, some more like love related stuff, one-on-one time, trying to kind of work something out. But there is this underlying vibe here of like you getting something squared away with your work or your job or your career, where it's like that wants to happen for you, but you don't know what to do. So that's something that they're really viewing about you, which is kind of interesting. How do you view them? Like, let's look at that real quick. What are your emotions towards them? What are your actions, thoughts here? What are your intentions towards them? What's going on? Okay, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. I already see where this is going. Yeah. Okay, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, everything in the upright. Then you have the Two of Swords. Okay. Aqua, basically what I'm seeing is that the way that your person is viewing you is kind of like they're waiting for you to make some kind of a decision. What's weird about this is the decision isn't, do you love them? Do you want to move towards them? That's all established in your energy that you absolutely want to do that. The decision seems to be more so, can you trust, or do you trust that like that love is there even if you choose something for yourself? Yeah, it might have felt like there was some unspoken, what's it called? Ultimatum, where if you stop putting energy into them or your family the way that you have been, that like maybe they would not be super interested in you anymore or something like that. I feel like also just like check your sun, moon, and rising, or like your Venus or something, because, or honestly, whatever reading your kind of, if one jumps out at you, maybe check that, because I think that there would be like a self message in there of what you're going through, because this is how a lot of the readings are going right now, is basically that like whoever is at my channel is the querent who is trying to figure out how to do their own thing while maintaining the other good things in their life. It's just difficult to pull back and trust that that energy is going to keep staying in flow. So maybe you kind of are the glue of a family, or you make a lot of things happen, or you don't really know what's going to happen. The messages that I'm getting though here is just very quick and simple, is like they'll find their own flow, and it'll probably be good. And sometimes it's nice to be needed, but in this case, I feel like your work is really going to need you. And it's something that you're very passionate about. It's something that you like moving towards. It's just there's this kind of like, it feels like the ball and chain is family, but the desire is actually to like move towards career, or maybe to go back to work after having some kind of family situation happen. So how you're viewing them though, you're moving towards them steadily. Like you have your sights set on this person. You absolutely love them. You're worried what they'll think of you or how they'll respond to your energy. Maybe you know they're more logical, and so they're kind of more of a like the proof is in the pudding thing. It doesn't really matter if I love them from a distance. That's it is what it is. Some relationships are just like that. And I think that this moment, though, is all about you trusting yourself and the connection that you've built, and trusting that, like, what's for you is for you, and that you couldn't really mess that up. So, like, if you do something that's good for you and somehow that like, you know, doesn't work for someone else, it's kind of saying like, don't not do something for yourself because you think that it would push someone else away. Because the goal is that you just don't push yourself away. You know, like you just let your whole self be here. And I think sometimes Aquarius has this energy where it's like it can be this obsession with another person. And I think a lot of people have that energy. I'm not singling you out. But I think sometimes when someone else becomes your best friend, your life, your love, the person that you think about all the time, the person you want to send the memes to, the person you want to like, you know, buy that thing for because it made you think of them. It can get a little bit like, it can feel like you have freedom to move towards them and everything. But then at some point, sometimes it feels like, there's not a whole lot of other things going on, or they all involve that other person. And Aqua really just blooms and blossoms with like personal alone time and like freedom to be in other circles, and to see that your partner's not jealous of that, and to see that your partner supports that. Like Aqua's supposed to be in a public setting or to be social, and to have that be encouraged, because I think the flip side of that is that it does cause a lot of anxiety, and it does cause a lot of insecurity if you can't cultivate a lot of different types of relationships. Because Aqua, you guys have so much to share that you guys have so much to share that so much, you guys have usually been through so much. And then you have a really beautiful way of seeing it, or renditioning it in your mind, that other people need to hear those things, and other people need to be around people who are comfortable with those things, or who are comfortable in that discomfort, because they're likely going through them too. So what's funny is you guys have, okay, you have the number 3, the number 9, which is 3 threes, and then the number 33. So you have 333. So I wonder if maybe there's something happening here where you feel like one option is going to keep you stuck. And just like this reading, if we were to focus on only the love part, it might feel like a little bit depressing, but that there's love there. And so it's kind of like, maybe like take the good with the bad. But because we've seen all different kinds of aspects here, like your work, your career, yourself, your identity, how this person's viewing you, who this person is to you, how you view them, who you feel they are to you, like soulmate wise, or whatever this is, or how deep your love runs for them. It's like, that's what makes the story good. That's what makes the story something that you want to cling on to. It's not just that there's love there. It's not just that there is a moment of connection. It's that there were all of these things in your life that felt really good, that all benefited the other. And I think that that's kind of what this is that you almost might feel stuck if you move towards community and like that sacrifices time with your partner, or if you move towards career and that's a sacrifice. Or especially if there's a dynamic where, your partner isn't very communicative, or they're more cerebral and they don't trust those feelings as much as you do, and you don't want to like kind of upset that balance or whatever. A big message that's continually coming through this reading is they will figure it out. Like, it's their chance to grow in that too. It's not your job to convince someone that you love them as much as you do. It's their job to see it. It's just your job to naturally do what you're going to do, and like to be aware and to make your changes and to listen. But also a big part of that is to be who you are. Like that's what people can grab onto. That's what people that's how someone's going to love you better, is that you show them all that's within you. And I think that there is an element here where you're trying to subdue some of those things so that you can spend more time with them. But honestly, I think they would love you even more. They would show you even more love when you start to feel this sense of accomplishment and kind of like community with the other things that you're moving towards. I think that you would be delightfully surprised at their reaction to that. I could see them also wanting to like meet those new groups and see who you are in those groups, and have their own cerebral connection to that part of your life, to where maybe if they're not like overflowing with emotions, that's not the problem. It's just like, because you're in this condensed environment, because you might be feeling like you're overflowing with emotions, both like good and bad, that if someone else isn't mimicking that or in that energy too, that it almost feels like you're alone or rejected or isolated because of that. But you're not. You just need to be around more people who can give you small doses of those things and let you be who you're going to be. Let little parts of you come out in different groups and different settings. And like, Aqua, you really need to give the world, let me rephrase this, because I'm not trying to give this as advice that you have to do. I think that the world would love more of you. I think that the world would love to have you circulate in more groups, find your place, find your passion, and really run with that, So 12th house of introspection on the bottom here, we have Sagittarius, Gemini, and South Node. What's interesting about this is if your South Node is in Sagittarius or Gemini, your North Node is in the opposite, because these are two opposite signs. And usually with the 3 and the 9, the 3s are like this kind of feeling trapped, feeling like you're circulating in the same energy. And the nines are kind of the divine answer out. And the nines also speak of kind of that more introspective and intuitive and kind of like Pisces energy out. And then you got the ninth house of exploration right here. Like, okay. So, and which is more Sagittarius energy. So what I see here is that the three, the Gemini, the thinking is getting you into a trap, into a mental trap, into stagnation. What wants to be here is more action on those thoughts, because you're having good thoughts, but it's like, if you don't take action on those thoughts, you end up doing the same thing over and over and over, but maybe that's not making you feel like you're expanding and really like seeing other parts of the world that inspire you, uplift you, bring you out of your shell, like stuff like that. So let's read all of it. Let's start with South Node, because I just feel like that's what we should do. South Node number 33 is the past. The South Node describes what you bring along from past lives. Your skills, proclivities, addictions, weaknesses, unfinished business, and a physical place within your body where you may hold tension or ancient karmic stories. The lunar nodes are the points of the zodiac where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic, when the moon, sun, and earth exactly line up here. A shadow mysteriously covers the sun or moon and creates an eclipse. The ancients thought a giant creature cast those shadows and referred to the nodes as the head and the tail of a dragon. Where the moon descended toward the south is the dragon's tail. I also feel like you're into stuff like that. Like maybe you're into anime, maybe you're into lore, maybe you're into kind of like ancient, like mythology or something. And maybe your partner isn't. Maybe like there's groups out there that you could really get down with that stuff, but you feel like there's certain things you can't explore when you so deeply and intimately want to explore like one person. It's almost like your one person can't be everything for you as much as you love them or as much as they love you. You would always need a community, This situation has its roots in some past karmic pattern, the origins of which are not clear. You either need to apply skills that you were born with or look again at old problems and work to heal them. The situation feels hauntingly familiar, but without a story to go with it, echoing traces from another time or life. An old love or familiar enemy may return, or the patterns involved could remind you of an earlier difficult chapter. If someone triggers your South Node, you may feel like you owe them or they owe you. And while that may be true, this accounting won't help now. Cleanly deal with what is on the table and stay in the present moment. I think it would be exceptionally ironic if you are an accountant, because I feel like there is that vibe of like accounting for everything so specifically. But if something like that, like clear analysis or risk assessment or something like that is actually within your career and you can get paid for it, I feel like that's more so where that energy wants to be anyways, not like towards a person, or like towards your partner. Learn new ways to respond, new skills that help when old trauma is triggered or old cravings. Wait, hold on. Learn new ways to respond, new skills that help when old trauma is triggered or old cravings sing their siren song. Break that spell. Use breathing techniques, investigate dialectical behavior therapy. Shout out to DBT, it's really saving my life. Or do something unexpected just to break those patterns and give you more options here and now. Stay focused on a healthy future of your own making. Under stress, you may fall back on familiar defenses and relive what you've always lived. PTSD, flashbacks, and addictive habits or relationships all operate around your South Node. Use this opportunity to heal triggers and patterns from the past. Take them as teaching moments and learn. Then your hard-earned skills and wisdom can help you build your future. Okay, and part of this is that there's like, you're letting go of anxiety in your relationships. You're letting go of the anxiety that something bad happens whenever something good is happening. You're letting go of the anxiety that, like, in general, but you're letting go of the anxiety that if you do not throw everything you have at it, it won't work. You're leaning into this, like, really, what's the word? Complementary partnership with someone where, like, they can do their work while you do yours. Like, that you can trust that. You're moving into that time. And so for those of you who are in relationships and kind of on your way out of them, that's probably not a partner that could do that with you. For those of you who are in relationships that you're trying to work on, those are probably partnerships that have shown you time and time again that they can remain stable, even if they remind you of someone from your family that you don't have a good relationship with. And those of you who are single, it's like you're learning that there's different ways to go about these things, and there's different things that you can look at other than just like chemistry and physical attraction and the pretty basic modes of looking for a mate or whatever, in how you look for like someone that works for you, a lifestyle that works for you, a lifestyle that helps build up yours while you support it. And if you're already in a relationship, I wonder if maybe that's something that you're building a foundation under the existing relationship, and where sometimes one of those building blocks is giving more time and space to be apart, and then witnessing what happens when you come back together and how good it is, and that there's really nothing to worry about there. So let me also, okay, I want to read the Four of Swords for whatever reason. No, I want to read the Queen of Wands. Okay, I want to read the Queen of Wands, and then we'll see about this. Oh wait. Okay, actually, I think I'm just going to read the Queen of Wands. I think I'm just going to read the Queen of Wands. Queens are interested in connections and relationships. They are often teachers or mentors, either formal or informal. Lean on them for support. Energetic, charismatic, and fond of attention, the Wands are often leaders. Getting things done quickly can lead to taking on too much or not finishing. Strong and confident, this powerful queen excels at inspiring others because boldness has served her well, and because boring and boldness do not usually go together. She encourages others to take courageous action. She sincerely wants you to be the best you can be and thinks that she knows what that is. Because of her keen instincts, she is usually right. However, she can push too hard, and with her strong personality, it can be hard to push back. Her passionate drive is inspiring, but can be overwhelming for some. For some of you guys, you are really encouraging of your partner, but you would do better having some of that alone time. Like, you can make someone feel like they're the king or queen of your life. But I think for you to feel like you're the king or queen of your own, like you're in that spot of leadership, and that's a good position for you to be in. I think you don't always feel that way, and this seems like it's a time where you're learning to do that. Okay. The situation may be more complex than you think, so be willing to dig in. Gemini energy can be shallow or oversimplified, as it encourages breadth rather than depth. So you have to add the depth consciously. Gemini's gift is an open mind and a sense of universal siblinghood. We are all in this together. The soul knows how to find itself back in equilibrium if we just let all parts communicate. Help the unexpressed feelings, persons, and elements within the community be heard. That's what we were talking about. And then Sagittarius. Sagittarius has 2 imperatives. Expand your perspective and humbly speak your truth. Okay. Travel in the body or in the mind and explore a larger philosophical, environmental, or metaphysical context for this situation. Just because you see it doesn't mean you have to say it. Timing and pacing are everything. Be honest, not mean. Ask if what you are about to say is wise, kind, and necessary, as well as true. Watch out for the geographic cure, the belief that travel will solve problems, because wherever you go, there you are. Honor all your relationships. Sagittarius reminds us that our spiritual path is connected to all our relations, the 2-footed, 4-footed, many-legged, winged, scaled, and finned. And they are all connected to us. So that's where I'm going to leave that. Thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you in another reading. Bye, guys.